All right, so this is Zach from Straight Blast Gym, and I'm here with...
Norm Mayer from Yellowknife, Northwest Territories, Canada.
Okay, cool. And how far is that from SBG Portland?
Well, I know how far it is from SBG Edmonton, which is a 1,000-mile drive, so I think it's another 8 hours to Montana from Edmonton, and what is it, 16-hour drive from here to Montana?
It seems like a long ways.
Yeah.
How did you hear about Straight Blast Gym Portland?
Oh, would have been close to 10 years ago. Just coming across, as I researched Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, coming across Matt's name and as a critical thinker in BJJ. And the more I read up about him and the gym, the more interested I became. And some personal circumstances were going on in life, and I thought, well, it's a good time to come down and check things out. So I came down to a winter camp in Portland here in 2003, and did the winter camp, and then asked Matt if I could stick around for an extra week of training, and he said sure. So I came down and did another week of training then, and then went back home and didn't do a whole heck of a lot for a few years, and still followed SBG. And then when the forum picked up, I kept up with things on the forum. And a club started up in town, and I let them know that I'd trained with SBG before, and they were an alliance group, and they said, it's okay, come train with us. So I managed to get some training consistently in the last year and a half, 2 years or so.
Awesome. So that's how you first met Matt at the winter camp?
Yeah, many years ago.
So that seems like a really long ways to go. Why would you come all the way to Portland to train?
There's something that it's just hard to articulate, but just something as I've been following Matt and the gym along. There's a lot of other contributors on the forum as well. I picked up Luis Gutierrez's Play Is the Way. I picked up Functional JK81. And I just really have enjoyed the mindset of the people in the gym and where they're coming from and how they can express themselves. And that's been a big factor that attracts me to things, especially with a lot of the, I don't know if you'd call it politics or whatever, that goes on in the MMA world or the BJJ world. And I just find it refreshing to come to that, as well as I've done traditional martial arts before, and that this gym doesn't do a lot, or really any of that traditional kind of thing, not in a negative way, but just a refreshing way kind of thing. So that's a big attraction for me.
Awesome. What's your training been like on the visit?
Down here, yeah, it's been ego deflating in a healthy way for me. It's been good. I've spent a lot of time tapping down here, meeting a lot of good people who have been really good with me with a lot of the questions I have, as I spent the first week spending a lot of time out of posture and not knowing what's going on, and then gradually asking more questions, and people were just really willing to answer my questions, and take the time with me. And so for me, it's been a really tremendous learning experience. I go home, I write it down. I've been trying to do a little bit of the homework, which is suggested around here, to think critically about what you're doing and try and bring that back the next time you roll, so you can correct your game a little bit. So I'm not too sure how successful I've been on that. It doesn't feel too successful at times, but it's all been good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Coming into a place like this can seem kind of scary.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of tattooed people who are really strong, some scary looking folks in here.
Yeah.
What have the people been like?
All of them have been great, especially the tattooed ones and whatnot, taking their time with me, and sure enough, it is intimidating, a bit at first kind of thing, but as you just, I found I've tried to be open with people and just talk to them and let them know who I am and where I'm from, and people were very welcoming, and my body's managed to make it I try not to push myself too hard, and people have been willing to teach me how to try and slow roll a little bit so that I relax and save the body to do longer training. And
so you say your body's been able to make it. How often have you been training while you've been down here?
Pretty much every day. Yeah, every day for 4 weeks. Usually 2 to 3 hours a day kind of thing, sometimes 4. I found after the first week though 4 was not a good idea. When I'd come and do the lunch hour one and then do the 2 or 3 hours in the evening, that was too much. Then I try to balance it out. There's a gym close to where I'm staying where I try and keep a little bit of physical fitness with the cardio and a little muscle tone. But it's important to balance things out when you're down here, I found.
If you don't mind me asking, Norm, how old are you?
Yeah, I'm 44, be 45 in another month.
You're 44 and you've been training for 3 to 4 hours a day, 7 days a week for 4 weeks now?
Pretty much. I managed to take a day off here. I think I took 2 days off over the time, trying to break it up a little bit so I could have a little bit of recovery.
That's awesome. That's a lot of training.
It's been good, but I mean that's I don't know. I think that's a sign of things here too, though, right? Where if you can train smart, and that's definitely I've been trying to incorporate what Matt's been suggesting of don't go past 70% kind of thing, and I found that has helped me a lot because I've really had little for injuries, and what I do have is just sort of a recurrent one, so it's worked out.
That 3 hours a day, it seems like it might be easy if the workouts aren't very strenuous. Are you still getting a good workout each class?
Yeah, no doubt there when it comes down to rolling. And I didn't just do BJJ, I did some of the stand-up too, the boxing with Brian and Ramon, and the MMA, intro to MMA. And those ones seemed a little more rigorous sometimes because they're doing circuits and whatnot, but it was all good. And I think with the BJJ as well too, though, it depends on how much you want to dial it up, right? I know for the competition, for example, when I dial it up all the way, it's you definitely can't last too long when you're going at that pace. So you gotta space it out, and it's been good.
Awesome. Most people think this kind of training is only for guys in their mid-20s. How have you fared in the last month?
Yeah. At my age, I've fared well, I believe. I'm in as good a shape as when I came down. There's no big cuts or bruises or anything that's holding me back.
Was there just a bunch of 20-something-year-old guys out on the mat with you?
No, and that's been a cool bit. I've met guys my age and older than me who are pretty relaxed and pretty open and talking about things. They're sharing their experience because they've been coming for years, and so it's been nice to have that broad spectrum of 20-something people, ladies who are very talented and tapping me out consistently, and guys in their 50s and 40s as well too, who are willing to roll with me and show me what they've learned and how to try and play so you can play a little bit longer.
And if you had a chance to do it again, would you come back down?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's been a pleasure coming down here, and I think I've picked up a lot, and I'm looking forward to. I've made lots of notes while I've been down here because my brain doesn't retain that stuff as well, but I've made lots of notes, and I look forward to reviewing that as well as on the forum and keeping things alive and keeping things going.
Awesome. Do you have anything you'd like to add, Norm?
Just come down and check it out. It's that's it. Just reached that point in life. If you're wondering what to do, just do it. Come and check it out, and you'll see.
Just jump in, huh?
Jump in, yeah. That's how it worked for me.
Awesome, Norm. Well, I thank you for your time. Hopefully, we'll see you again.
You bet. You will.